Hello and welcome to my fourth and final video for Sing with ETO at Home. This one is called Getting Ready for the First Rehearsal. I am Jenny Stafford and I'm a soprano, and I'm here for all of you sopranos and anyone else listening to help you prepare for your first rehearsals back with your choirs. In the first 3 videos, I've given lots of thoughts, ideas and exercises to help you get used to singing again after what may have been quite a long break. Hopefully, you're beginning to trust that body and that lovely voice of yours, and you've been able to make a start on all of those skills that will help to make you as prepared as possible to sing with people again. And then you can wholeheartedly enjoy the experience of being in a choir again. It's something that all of you watching must have in common, is that we've been missing singing with people terribly. Not terribly singing, but missing terribly singing with other people. And I think I can say with quite a lot of confidence that if you've stuck it out and watched all of these videos, you are committed to your voice and your choir. So you should be really proud of yourselves. On the day of the rehearsals, or in the lead up to them, you may find that you have a little bit of nerves. And that is fine, and that is so normal, because I always get those sort of excitable nerves whenever I start rehearsals. But to deal with these nerves, and this may come in useful for concerts or sort of other aspects of your life as well, a lot of people try to calm themselves down or relax, but there have been a lot of studies that show that instead of calming yourself down, saying "I am excited" works to deal with those nerves. It's a trick, it's a cognitive trick called anxiety reappraisal, and I'm not an expert at all in this subject, but I am someone who feels a sort of not an insubstantial amount of anxiety in life. And even more so as a solo singer doing auditions and concerts on a fairly regular basis, I find myself confronted with these extra nerves and anxieties. So the idea behind this is that anxiety and excitement share a lot of the same symptoms. That's probably not the right word. Qualities. So the heartbeat races and the levels of a stress hormone called cortisol rise, and basically the body prepares for action. It's that sort of fight or flight situation. But the difference is that anxiety is negative and excitement is positive. So trying to calm yourself down is also positive. But on top of that being, of combating the negativity from anxiety, you have to use a lot of effort to reduce the other symptoms, the heartbeat and the body being ready for action. So there's a lot more to sort of go against. So there have been a load of studies on this, and one of them from the Harvard Business School by a Professor Brooks. She used singing in her experiments. So people were asked to sing a well-known song, and beforehand they were either told to say "I am excited," "I am anxious," or nothing. And the people who said "I am excited" said that during the song they felt more excited, and according to the computers that were measuring pitch and volume, they sang more accurately. And the same goes for another experiment where they were using 2-minute speeches, and the people who said "I'm excited" were more persuasive and persistent and confident. Apparently it's even worked it's made people perform better in maths tests. So it may feel strange at first, but the more you do it, the more you will believe it. And it doesn't make anxiety go away, it just sort of reframes it. Thinking of excitement makes you think of all the ways something could go well rather than go wrong. So if you are feeling nervous before that first rehearsal, whether it's weeks before or the minute you're going in, that it is totally understandable. But maybe have a go at saying, I am excited, and hopefully that will help a little bit to reframe those nerves. If you can, do a little warm-up at home on the day of the rehearsal. I am sure that your conductor will warm you up at the beginning too, but it's good to get a head start and to do some of the exercises that you're familiar with and that you know work for you. So hopefully you'll have formed a really great routine of warming up and singing on a regular basis before the rehearsals kick off. If looking over all of the videos that I've made to find the right exercises is a bit too time consuming, here is a sort of condensed version. So this is what I'm calling a quickfire warm-up. So let's start standing up, as always, and let's do a quick stretch of the neck. So we're going to roll the shoulders back and leave them back and down, going towards each other as if they're going for a lovely little kiss. And then we're just going to roll our heads, keeping the shoulders back and down. And then if it hurts, please don't do this. But if there's a nice stretch somewhere, just give that a little bit of extra time. Yes, like that bit for me. And then go the other way, breathing deeply all the time. Whew, I'm crunching. So let's now do a little bit of a stretch of the chest and the rib cage. So interlace your fingers at the front and then twist them round and round the back. So you're stretching the back of the shoulders here. I want to see sort of a proper arch there. This is similar to cat-cow in yoga. So it's stretching the top around of the back, around the shoulder blades, and breathing deep. And then going to do the opposite. Interlace the fingers at the back, and then, oh, did you hear my shoulders click? And then really stretch out that front of the chest. Oh, and the shoulders. That's really working for me. So breathing deep again. And so now we're going to make sure that our posture is regal and wonderful. Lengthening the back of the neck by either thinking of being lifted from those bumpy bits at the back of the skull, the bottom back of the skull, or being suspended from the crown of your head. So it's lovely, and the back of the neck is lovely and long, leaving the chin a little bit tucked in and the muscles around the larynx lovely and free. So make sure that make sure that your hips are, your feet are hip width apart and your knees can be slightly bent so that you can easily tuck in that bum or tilt that pelvis forward and access those lovely low support muscles very easily. So we're going to breathe in for 4 clicks, a lovely low breath in that's like a straw's going from your mouth to below your belly button, avoiding these areas, filling here. And then out on an S. So tucking the pelvis in on the S. So 3, 4, in. Great, and one more time. 3, 4, in. Really feel those muscles working. Now we're going to do the same on a sh. So 3, 4, in. And then the same on a 3, 4, in. Wonderful, I can feel these muscles working. I'm gonna put that to some notes now. So we're gonna voice the F to make a V, and we're going to just start on this G, and we're gonna slide from the G, E, C, like this. So really tucking in that pelvis still as you're breathing out. Lovely breath in, let's go. Next one. Breathe. Make sure the space at the back of the jaw, just around here, and obviously that's going to stay small anyway. Breathe. Deep breath. It's tickling. Last one. Fabulous. We're going to go back down and open onto a really, really bright ah vowel from these V's. So I'm talking an American or an Italian ah vowel, not a darkened throaty ah vowel. No plums here. So back to this G. Va, 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 va is what I want from you. So breathe in. Va, va, va. Really lovely and bright, and you may have been able to hear I need to make more space at the back of my throat here, so I'm going to think about that on the next one, keeping this space at the front really, really small. So yawny and sneezy at the back, tiny, tiny space at the front. Lovely deep breath. Va, va, va. Not too much breath coming out, lots of breath in. Va, va, va. Not forgetting those low muscles tucking in. Va, va, va. Next one. Va, va, va. Keep that vowel really bright. Fabulous. So now, keeping that really, really bright vowel, I'm going to go slightly, we're just going to go higher. So triad going like this. So we're going to take a big breath in, keeping that big yawny space at the back, small as you can at the front, still with all that support. There's so many things to think about. So ready, steady, breathe. Don't think about going up, think about the notes going down, so you're still really grounded. Keep it really, really bright, that vowel really spacious at the back, and don't let too much breath out. Next one. And then the last one, we could do this. It's going up to a B flat. Brilliant. Fabulous. Yes, I hope that you were still feeling that fabulous buzzing in your head. If you want to spend a bit more time on these exercises, go back to the other videos and you can get into the more nitty-gritty things. But there it is, my Quickfire soprano warm-up. Was it quick? I have no idea. But hopefully you'll feel warmed up and ready to go. Now for some thoughts on posture, breathing and singing when you're sitting down, which you often have to do in rehearsals. So hopefully you're really getting used to using these low support muscles when you're singing and learning to trust your body again. It's so important to use those same muscles and feel that same way when you're sitting down, so you can rely on your body and voice to do the same thing, even when the conductor said, give your legs a rest. So have a chair to hand or to bum. And if you don't have one, then please press pause and pop and get one and come back to us. Welcome. So pop it right behind you so that you know it's there. You can trust that it is behind you. That's the first trick. We're going to resume that fabulous regal posture with the long back of neck, the shoulders back and the slightly engaged core. And now I'm going to ask you to sit down, but by bending the knees and the hips and maintaining that really lovely tall upper body, that long straight back. They mustn't move. So we're going to go very slowly. I want you to really control the movement from with your thighs and your core muscles, keeping that balance and controlling with that. So let's do it together. Keep that torso wonderful and tall, tucked in, pelvis there, and then bend from the knees really slowly, bending at the hips, and then lowering down. So if you're anything like me, you will have found it okay at the beginning of that journey, that everything's working, and then suddenly my muscles let gravity take control and I just flopped. So we want to try and maintain that control even at the end, and it's all about balancing and making sure that you're still aligned. So hopefully you haven't swiveled like I have and you're still sitting there as you landed, with that really tall back and sitting on those the sitting bones, and really that's still a little bit engaged here, but there's freedom to move. So I feel like you may know where that's going. We'll come to breathing in a little bit, but first of all we're going to stand upright again. Your feet should still be planted, so you should be able to just stand from where you left off. And I want you to use exactly the same principles, keeping that tall, regal posture from the hips upwards. Let's go very slowly, bending the knees, bending at the hips, engaging, and slowly straightening those knees and hips. Let's do it one more time, both ways, just to get used to it. So we're going to try to control even at that, even when we're so close to the chair. So that means that we're going to have to put a bit more balance at the front. So keep that back really tall and bend everything. Oh, that was actually a lot better for me. And then hopefully you'll still feel ready to be able to stand back up again, using the same muscles, and you still feel lovely and aligned. So let's get back up. No, not using the hands at all. Lean forwards and lift. Lovely. So one more time, just so that we can get back to sitting. And maybe this one's the one where you won't drop straight to the chair. So balancing, bending the knees slowly and bending the hips, slowly lowering down, and find the chair. Stay aligned. So now I want you to, this breathing because of how you are aligned here and how engaged you can probably feel you can be, if you tilt that pelvis back and forth, you can still use the same muscles. Hello. So let's do our normal in-breaths, thinking of the straw from the mouth to below the belly button. Fill that space and then out on a S. So let's do 4 clicks in and then tilt that S out. 3, 4, in. Brilliant. Same thing on a sh. So 3, 4, in. I'm hoping that you're feeling just as engaged as when you're standing up here. So same thing on a 3, 4, in, and then feel that tilt. Great. Got a bit confused there myself, trying to speak and do the exercise at the same time. But I hope you got the gist of it. Now let's just put a bit of voice to that. So let's do the again, just like we did before, standing up. So keeping that lovely alignment, engaged, grounded legs, as if you're able to stand up as if I said, go, stand up, you'd be able to just quickly rise with that lovely long back. So we're going to breathe in and then tilt, like just moving a little bit on those sitting bones there. 3, 4, in. Lots of space here, still controlling from below. Breathe. Great, now let's open it up and see how that feels. Bright, bright ah vowel. So lovely deep breath. Then we're going to go va, va, va. Bit better than I did because I didn't prepare my breath. So breathe in. Va, va, va. So really supporting still, tucking that pelvis in. Breathe. Va, va, va. Last one. Va, va, va. Brilliant. So it should hopefully feel just like it did when you were singing standing up. So here are a few little tips for that rehearsal day. Firstly, warm up. Do a little warm up like I've already said, and then you'll hopefully feel that you're all prepped and your voice is ready to go. Drink loads of water during the day, and so that you're nice and lubricated vocally. And don't leave that till the last minute, because you'll be constantly going to the toilet during the rehearsal. So take that bottle of water and a pencil to the rehearsal, and maybe a snack like a banana or biscuits, or you may be getting that in the break anyway. But those nerves that you might have, or the excitement, I am excited, and that energy that you'll be using, having not sung in this sort of situation for some time, might mean that you need a little energy boost or a treat to keep you going. And finally, if possible, give yourself enough time to get there without running late. Going to this rehearsal may feel a little strange because it's the first one in some time, and you might have those excitable nerves, so you don't want the added stress of annoying anyone or missing anything by being late. Right, so here's what to do, or here's my idea of what to do during the rehearsals. Firstly, concentrate. It'll all be very exciting and it'll feel great to be in that rehearsal again. But you need to remember that you all have a common purpose, which is making the music. And you can chat and catch up with your friends in the break or afterwards in the pub. Now, this pencil, or your pencil, with it you must write everything down. My scores are covered in markings. I once worked with a lovely Polish baritone who said to me very intensely, no pencil, no career. And that's stuck with me. And it's it's not really true, but it's a very useful thing to have. I think it comes from a French saying. And it's all about writing things down so no one has to repeat themselves. So be concise with these markings. You don't want to write all of the beats in every single bar, just the ones that you think are hard and you need reminding to count. Write down all the instructions from the conductor, where to breathe and circle the dynamics and mark when you're supposed to come off. You want to give yourself these little reminders so that the next time and every other time you go over the music, the conductor doesn't have to repeat themselves. Next is that when the conductor's working with another section from the choir, think through your own part while they're singing their line and see how your part relates to theirs. It's not the time to drift off or chat. Next is sight reading. Prepare for the inevitable. It's probably going to happen. You're probably going to have to do it. And I've talked about this in the second video, and I'm definitely not an expert in it because I find sight reading pretty daunting myself. But in the spirit of I am excited, just go for it. Strong and wrong. Everybody's in the same boat and nobody is judging. So that strong and wrong applies to more than just sight reading. Something I'm sure your conductor has talked about is anticipating the entries and being brave enough to come in with strength straight away. A little helpful trick which helps me in my singing is to make sure that I sing the vowel on the beat and then the consonants have to come before. So for Kreuziger, that's just come to mind in Bach's St. John Passion. Instead of singing 1, 2, Kreuz, I would sing Kreuziger. So let's do it together. Well, after 3, it's on the 4th beat? Let's say it is 1, 2, 3, Kreuziger. So it's straight on, the vowel comes straight on that beat. And your conductor will love you for that. A tentative choir where all the members are waiting for the person next to them to come in and then join in themselves is not that exciting to listen to. You have worked on your voice. You'll be sounding amazing. So to quote the third video, be your own leader and just go for it. It will be so exciting to be part of and so exciting for the audiences to hear when they are allowed. This all takes practice and some of it takes real guts to be the first person to come in. So don't expect that all of these are just going to happen straight away. They are things to be aware of and improve and work on between sessions. And then notice those changes and those improvements and give yourself some credit for being wonderful. So that is it from me. Have fun. That's the most important thing. Hopefully these tips and tools and chats that I've given in these videos will help you to feel as prepared as possible for the first rehearsals. And you'll be able to trust your voice and your body, as well as those other skills that we need within a choir. So you can relax and enjoy it as much as possible. I wish I could be in all those rehearsals. My parents were in Huddersfield Choral Society, I've mentioned this, so I've grown up listening to choirs. I've been in many choirs myself. I have the best memories of those times. And I'm so jealous that you're all doing this. I love the process of getting to grips with the music and noticing how it's evolving, as well as that group and community of wonderful people forming and strengthening, and everyone being invested in the same thing. It's so very, very special, and we've all missed it. So thank you so much for listening, and I've so enjoyed putting these videos together, and I hope that at least some of it is useful for you. So stay safe and well, and go and enjoy yourselves.